Hi, welcome to Kick-Ass Switch, putting the K in magic. I'm Joanna DeVoe, and you are watching a video about radical responsibility. And I know that sounds kind of scary, but I hope you will hang with me as I try to explain why it's not scary at all. I have had this idea very close to the forefront of my mind now for a couple of months, ever since I came across this quote by Karl Marx, of all people, saying that, to be radical is to grasp things by the root. So every time I hear the word radical, I think of that. Oh, radical means to grasp things by the root. Responsibility is a word that I think a lot of us probably have an aversion to that word. I know I did for most of my life. And I think it's because a lot of people will tell us what our responsibility is. So we come to see this as other people trying to control us. You know, our government telling us it's our responsibility to do X, Y, Z. School telling us it's our responsibility to do this or that. Our parents, the church, whoever telling us what our responsibility is. And that's just my take on it, and I think that that's why I was very averse to that word until one day, however many years ago, I just had this kind of random aha moment where I broke the word in half, and I saw that it actually means the ability to respond. And I think of myself as a very capable person and someone who has the ability to respond. And when I looked at it that way, I needed to look at it that way because I was having issues with responsibility in my own life. And when I looked at it that way, it changed that. It's one of the few moments in my life that turned on a dime. And I was never the same after I had that realization. Oh, the ability to respond. And whenever the word responsibility shows up when I'm reading or someone else says it, that's immediately what I think. So try to think of it that way. Radical responsibility is getting to the root of your ability to respond. There are many ways that we could examine radical responsibility because it applies to all areas of your life. But what I want to look at today is just how it applies to a healthy lifestyle, your mental health in particular. I know a lot of people, modern people now, lead these extraordinarily busy, stressful lives. And I think that we're seeing the rise of mental health issues, anxiety and depression, things like that, in response to that. And because we are a culture we're a pill-pushing culture. And there's like a message coming to us from the pharmaceutical industry, which uses the media as its voice to tell us that, hey, you never have to be uncomfortable. You never have to feel stress. You never have to be depressed. Just take this little pill. Or any discomfort whatsoever. And, be it excessive sweating or a restless leg or whatever it is, a rash. I do think there's a place, let me just say, for modern medicine and drugs. I just think we have gone so far that we are killing ourselves trying to get to a place of comfort. And we have shut our bodies down. And we refuse to listen to their voices anymore because our bodies speak to us in part through symptoms. And what's fascinating is when you silence one symptom with this pill, our bodies, they're so loving to us. They're so good. They are so, if not loving and good, interested in self-preservation. And they will swing over here and be like, hey, and another symptom will pop up. Because you're not listening to the root of the problem. You're not letting your body tell you what's wrong. So then you have two pills going on and you've suppressed these two symptoms, but like, whoa, shit. Here's another one popping up. And pretty soon you're on a whole regime of pills because it's like an awful game of whack-a-mole. You're trying to shut your body up so you can go about the busyness of your life. Cortisol is important to talk about here too because cortisol is a hormone, and you may have heard it referred to as the stress hormone for good reason. Cortisol is not bad. Cortisol is necessary for normal human functioning, but we have just taken it so far. So a lot of us have excess cortisol. And cortisol, this stress hormone, it is released from our adrenal glands anytime we feel stress or have low blood sugar, which is another form of stress, really. So if you are functioning excessively in a stressful state, or if you eat an excessively shitty diet, you will have excessive cortisol levels, and that will destroy your health. One of the first ways that will show up is in the form of adrenal fatigue. Maybe not the first. The first is you might just feel shitty. You might just feel anxious or depressed or just out of sorts, but you can't quite put your finger on it. If it escalates to it, one of the first major ways it will show up is adrenal fatigue. And with adrenal fatigue comes a whole set of symptoms. These are messages from your body that you have gone too far. You have eaten too much shitty food, or you have tried to do too much beyond your capacity. And one example that just keeps wanting to pop into my head that's not specifically about cortisol, although it is, this person definitely has excessive cortisol levels and has been trying to treat it with pills, is someone who's very close to me, who shall remain nameless, because I love this person and I'm not trying to throw them under the bus, but it's a really good example. And I want to share it with you. I don't even think she watches my videos, so I feel safe. She is a lifelong runner and just an extremely productive person in general. She's got kids, she's got a high pressure job, and her fun, the way she has fun, is by running almost every day and competing in endurance races and mega marathons and doing a lot of excessive exercise. And as a result, her thyroid has broken and she's had a lot of knee problems. She had to have major knee surgery when I think she was too young to have knee surgery. And she's broken, as she puts it, her feet a number of times. They're really just stress fractures. But the latest time this happened, she calls me and she says, I broke my foot again. And what she's mad about, she's mad at her foot. She's mad at her body because it's going to keep her from running. So what did she do the very first day, the day after? The doctor had given her a boot because she's not supposed to move her foot. So she has to wear this giant boot. She just randomly decides to go to Magic Mountain for the day. And if you know anything about Magic Mountain, you're walking around all day long. So she's suppressing the messages of her body, and her body is breaking down because she's not listening, which means she won't be able to run forever or for the length of her life or even the potential of her running life, because she's cutting it short by not listening to her body when her body says, we have run too far. Her doctor told her that her foot was fractured. It's a stress fracture from too much running. Hello! And damn that foot, it's keeping me from running! I think a lot of us do that just in general with stressing ourselves out. You may not be a marathon runner, but I'm sure there are other ways that I'm not sure. There could be other ways that you're running yourself into the ground. And to take you out of the equation and just to use an example, it's like whipping a workhorse into working beyond its energetic capacity. Sure, you can get that workhorse to plow more fields. You can force it, whether it's frothing at the mouth or shaking, to keep going if you keep whipping it and beating it forward. But soon enough, you are going to beat that horse into the ground, and then there will be no horse to plow your fields. We are doing that to our bodies in a lot of respects, and this month is about talking about lifestyle design. So that is something that was really important that I incorporate into whatever videos or podcasts I'm doing this month talking about lifestyle design. I share in the Healing Magic of Food a very cool, easy body scan that you can incorporate into your lifestyle to just every now and then check in with your body to see like, hey, how are we doing here? Because your body is literally trying to communicate with you all of the time. It's just a matter of, are you willing to stop and listen? Radical responsibility comes into play when you get to the root of what is stressing you out. When you get to the root of what has you diving into a bag of chips or a pint of ice cream every single night before bed. And you do that by learning to consistently tune in to the messages of your body. I actually think that being a witch is not about hanging out in the spiritual realms all of the time or working your invisible magic. I think it is very much about working with the material plane, engaging with the material plane, and most obviously with Mother Nature. And working with nature starts by honoring your own vessel and its role in the circle of life and its function as a conduit for spirit. That to me is super witchy. And the reason that I wanted to go super micro here and just focus on your body as an example of radical responsibility is because I think that it starts at home. It starts with you. It starts with taking care of yourself. And once you learn to listen to the voice of spirit, to listen to the voice of Mother Nature as it is speaking through your own flesh and blood, you'll be that much more tuned in to all the other ways it speaks, most notably, most loudly through our planet. As above, so below, as within, so without. How you take care of your own body is a reflection of how you take care of the planet you live on. And it's a reflection of your respect for spirit and respect for the fact that you are a spirit in a human body, and I am on a pulpit today. Always makes me laugh when I get super evangelical. So that's my rant for today. Take care of you. Take care of you. Have respect for this beautiful, amazing body you live in and listen to its messages. And the beautiful thing about this is you might think, yeah, but I have all these other responsibilities I have to tend to. I'm too busy to take time to care for my body and all of that. It's like, but hold up. All these other responsibilities that you think you have, if you don't have the ability to respond to your own body's needs, you eventually will not have the ability to respond to all these other needs, your kids' needs, the needs of your job, the needs of whatever, your planet, your country, your church, whatever matters to you. So think about that. It's important. It's important. And sometimes I have found it to be true that the more I slow down, the more I'm able to do, which is remarkable. And that's another whole paradigm shift for me. So let me know if this was helpful for you. If you want to receive a notification when the Healing Magic of Food is going live, put your email wherever there's a link to put your email, and I will give you a heads up about that. And just so you know, you are not being added to a new newsletter list. You will not be getting emails from me like you do when you get my free ebook. This is just to get a, hey, the Healing Magic of Food is happening, and I might send you in the future sometime like, hey, there's this promo going on, or this freebie is happening, but you will not be getting regular emails from me there. That is just so I know that you're interested in the Healing Magic of Food, and you can know when that's ready. And that's ready to get going. And until we meet again, take care of you. Much love. Peace.